excited to tell you about your favorite summertime treat, the hamburger. We are going to turn it into a very medicinal Cannaburger. What you're going to need for the Cannaburger is some not so lean ground meat. We talked before about the 3 ways to convert cannabis. You can convert it in oil, alcohol, or fat. Now you can use the fat from butter, or you can use the fat from an animal, such as cow. So when you go to your butcher, don't ask them for lean ground meat. Ask them for a nice fatty cut of hamburger meat, because the fattier it is, the better conversion you're going to get, and the more potent your burger's going to be. So tonight, I am using a very fine ground cannabis leaf and a scale. I'm going to weigh it up, and I'm making 2 burgers, so I'm only going to weigh up 1.5 grams of finely ground cannabis. So this averages in about 0.75 per burger, which I think is, and all cannabis is different, don't kid yourself, but as a great rule of thumb, 0.75 grams per person per serving is great for the average person. If you start exceeding that, or you think you're being funny by adding a lot more marijuana into this, the problem is you're going to give it to somebody and you're going to frighten them. And a lot of people can use cannabis as medicine. It can be very important for them. So if you scare them off that medicine by adding too much marijuana because you're a bit of a jerk, or you think it's funny, you're not funny, and you've done that person a grave injustice. So err on the side of caution. Don't use that much marijuana. I'm using 1.5 grams. That doesn't look like a lot of marijuana, but when you convert it, that can really be potent medicine. So that's been my big warning, and I'm going to be happy time again because we're making hamburgers. Okay, what I wanted to do too is I wanted to use a little bit of olive oil. You don't generally do that, and I'm only going to put about a tablespoon in there, but I want that olive oil just to help me with the viscosity of the meat, so I can get it more evenly distributed when I go to use my hands and get that marijuana work through the meat. I like to use a little minced onion. I have some minced garlic here. I love garlic. Tonight I thought it'd be nice to use some cracked chilies. A few of those. I love things with a little bit of heat to them. Salt. Everything can use a tiny bit of salt. I'm using a nice gray sea salt. Some fresh pepper. Nobody can ever say fresh pepper again. They have to say a fresh pepper. Ever since that sketch. Okay. And finally, the glue that holds a hamburger together. The lovely trusted egg. In goes an egg. Now, if you're like me, you really like to get your hands. I like to get my hands in there, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix this all up really well. The best way to do it is with your hands. Touch your food. Okay. You really want to do this up great because that marijuana is a fine ground powder, and you want to make sure that one burger isn't just way more medicated than the next burger. And it's a little bit wet because I put the oil in there, but that's okay. So, very simply, you form a hamburger patty. Two. Okay, and very simply, walk over. You're going to want a nice hot pan. Get that pan. I would have used my barbecue. You're welcome to use yours, but my barbecue needs a serious cleaning, and I just not had that kind of time today. Hamburger.
Watermelon. Get it right here. Come on. Good, sweet texture. Got a thing for the watermelon girl. The juicy, juicy watermelon girl.
You saw it here first. I'm baking a fool of myself. Cannaburgers, the happy way to get healthy.
For the watermelon girl.